The forgotten Nora Valen stared at the data scrolling across her lab screen, rubbing tired eyes that had seen too many hours of quantum particles behaving in impossible ways. Her research on memory engram patterns had taken an unexpected turn 3 months ago when test subjects began reporting strange dreams memories that weren't their own, another anomaly in Sector 7, she muttered. Marking the fluctuation, the lab felt especially empty tonight, the rest of the research team long gone from Princeton's Advanced Quantum Institute. Outside, the night sky of 2157 glowed with the orbiting habitation rings that had saved humanity during the Great Expansion. The door hissed open behind her. Dr. Valen. Security flagged an unauthorized visitor requesting you specifically. Nora turned to see her assistant standing awkwardly beside a tall, slender man with skin the color of burnished copper and eyes that reflected light like polished amber. His features were almost human, but too perfect, too symmetrical. I'm Thalex, he said, voice resonating with a musical quality no human vocal cords could produce. From Meridian, Nora felt the world tilt sideways. A wave of dizziness washed over her as a fragment of memory not her own flickered through her mind. Standing on a cliff edge beneath twin purple moons, this man's hand in hers. Impossible, she whispered. First contact with Meridian was only 8 months ago. Yet you recognize me? It wasn't a question. Her assistant backed toward the door. Should I call security? No, Nora said quickly. It's fine, Jared, you can go. When they were alone, Thalex approached slowly. Your quantum resonance experiments created ripples across dimensional barriers. I've been searching for you. That's absurd. My work involves memory encoding patterns, not dimensional physics. Memory and dimension are intertwined. Your consciousness has been bleeding into my reality for years. He reached into a pocket, extracting a small crystal that pulsed with blue light. This contains your memories from my world, memories you don't remember living. I don't understand. In my dimension, you existed. We... He hesitated. We were bonded. But you died in an accident 3 years ago. Nora felt her throat tighten. That's impossible. When your consciousness faded from my world, it created a quantum echo. That echo found its parallel self-you in this reality and formed a bridge. His amber eyes searched hers. Your research isn't creating false memories in your subjects. It's pulling real memories across dimensions. That's not scientifically possible. Yet you recognized me immediately. Alex held out the crystal. Touch it, please. Against every rational thought, Nora reached for the crystal. The moment her fingers brushed its surface, memories flooded her consciousness, herself in strange clothing, walking beneath alien skies. Laughing with Thalex beside a silver sea, his lips against hers under twin moons. She jerked her hand away, gasping. How is this happening? Because you are the only human whose consciousness resonates across dimensions. Thalex's voice softened. The only one who remembered me, even when you shouldn't. Outside the lab window. Lights flashed as security vehicles pulled up to the building. I need your help, Thalex said urgently. My world is dying, and you're the only one who can save it. Particles of recognition dawn broke over the Princeton campus as Nora guided her vehicle away from the research center. Alex sitting uncomfortably in the passenger seat. They had narrowly avoided the security team Nora's credentials, allowing them to slip out a service entrance while explaining away the unauthorized visitor alert. Where are we going? Thalex asked, watching the landscape with fascination. My apartment. It's safe there, she replied, still trying to process the fragmented memories that felt both foreign and intimately familiar. You need to explain everything. Inside her small living space, Nora paced while Thalex examined the crystal again. This contains a quantum imprint of your consciousness from my dimension. When you touched it, it recognized its other half-you. It doesn't explain why I'm having memories of a life I never lived. Nora stopped pacing. Or why I recognized you instantly. As part of you did live that life. Thalex's amber eyes followed her movement. Our scientists discovered that consciousness isn't contained within a single dimension. It exists across multiple realities, tethered to different physical forms. Nora's scientific mind rebelled against the concept, yet she couldn't deny the evidence of her own experience. And in your dimension, we were... Joined. What you might call married? His expression softened. You were a xenobiologist studying interspecies adaptation when we met. We had 3 years together before the accident. Another memory flash hit her standing in a strange laboratory, examining cellular structures that pulsed with colors no human had names for. The sensation was so vivid she had to steady herself against the kitchen counter. These memory transfers are getting stronger, she murmured. Thalix nodded. The more time we spend together, the more the quantum resonance stabilizes. Why did you really come here, Thalix? The truth. He hesitated. Meridian is experiencing catastrophic dimensional degradation. The barrier between realities is collapsing. Our scientists believe it's connected to your research and to the resonance pattern between our consciousnesses. Oh. A text from her lab assistant. Federal agents here asking about your visitor. Claimed national security. Be careful. We need to move, she said, grabbing essentials. My government has taken an interest in you. As they prepared to leave, Thalix caught her hand. The contact sent a jolt through her system, not electricity, but recognition, cells remembering what mind could not. I didn't just come here to save my world, he admitted quietly. I came because losing you once was unbearable. Her heart raced as his fingers intertwined with hers, the gesture feeling both new and achingly familiar. I don't even know you. Part of you does. His thumb traced her palm, the part that bridges dimensions. Before she could respond, lights flashed outside the apartment windows, government vehicles surrounding the building. Is there another way out? Thalix asked. Nora nodded, leading him toward the fire escape. As they slipped away into the morning light, she felt something awakening within her, not just memories of another life, but emotions that transcended dimensional barriers. Where will we go? He asked as they reached her secondary vehicle. To understand what's happening, we need my research. And for that, we need to break into my own laboratory. Quantum entanglement train pelted the windshield as Nora navigated back roads toward the research facility. 3 days on the run had left them exhausted. Moving between motels and staying ahead of the government agents now hunting them across 3 states, the security will be impossible to bypass, Nora said. Pulling into an observation point overlooking the institute, Thalix's hand rested lightly on her shoulder. Not impossible. The crystal can temporarily disrupt electronic systems, a side effect of its dimensional properties. In the cramped car, his proximity sent waves of conflicting emotions through her attraction to a stranger mixed with the comfort of an old lover. Each hour spent together strengthened the memory bleeds, bringing fragments of their shared past from another dimension. Last night, she began hesitantly, I dreamed about a ceremony. We were standing in a circle of light, while everyone sang. Thalix's eyes widened. Our bonding day. You're remembering it clearly now. It feels like remembering someone else's life through my own eyes. Under cover of darkness, they approached the facility through a maintenance tunnel Nora had discovered years ago. The crystal in Thalix's hand glowed brighter as they neared the main laboratory, its light pulsing in rhythm with their heartbeats. The resonance is getting stronger, he whispered. Our proximity to your research is amplifying the effect. Inside her lab, Nora downloaded her research while Thalix examined her equipment with a scientist's curiosity. These configurations, they're almost identical to our dimensional mapping technology. But you've applied them to neurological patterns instead. I was trying to understand how memories form permanent neural pathways, Nora explained, not breach dimensional walls. Yet you did both without realizing it. As the data transferred, Thalix moved closer, his hand brushing hers. The contact triggered another memory cascade more intense than before. Both gasped as shared consciousness flowed between them, their first meeting in his world. Quiet evenings spent discussing the nature of reality. The warmth of their bodies intertwined beneath alien stars. When the vision cleared, they were standing impossibly close, breathing hard. Nora whispered, quantum entanglement at the consciousness level. His voice was rough with emotion. 2 versions of the same connection, finding each other across dimensional barriers. The pull between them was undeniable, a force as fundamental as gravity. When their lips finally met, it felt like coming home to a place she'd never been. his touch both foreign and familiar. Igniting memories of intimacy from another life, they separated only when the computer chimed. Data transfer complete. The dimensional breach is accelerating, Thalek said, examining the readings. My world has weeks, perhaps days, before complete collapse.
Ow.
Nora asked. Your consciousness is the bridge. If we can stabilize the resonance pattern between dimensions, we might be able to seal the breach. And if we can't, his amber eyes held hers. Then I lose my world, and I lose you again. Outside, alarms began to sound. They've found us, Nora said, grabbing the data drive. As they fled through back corridors, a realization struck her. Saving his dimension might mean leaving her own behind forever. Dimensional. Crossroads, the abandoned observatory, provided perfect cover mode enough to avoid detection. Equipped with power generators and filled with outdated but functional equipment, Nora could repurpose for their desperate plan. For a week, they worked, sleeping in shifts, building a device to stabilize the dimensional resonance between their worlds. During quiet moments, Thalek shared stories of Meridianet's floating cities, the luminous sea that glowed with bioluminescent life, the cultural renaissance that had followed their first tentative contact with Earth. Will I remember my life here if I cross dimensions with you? Nora asked one night as they sat beneath the observatory's massive dome, stars wheeling overhead. Thalek considered carefully. The other eyes retained memories from her childhood on Earth before her consciousness fully transferred to Meridian. But there's no precedent for what we're attempting. Consciousness transfer between dimensions, Nora mused. My colleagues would have me committed for even suggesting it. Yet here we are.
Aye.
The device took shape, a complex arrangement of quantum resonators surrounding a platform where Nora would stand. The theory was elegant, but terrifying, by amplifying the natural resonance. Between her consciousness here and the echo of her consciousness in Thalek's dimension, they might generate enough energy to seal the breach between worlds. The calculations suggest two possibilities, Nora explained, reviewing their work. Either my consciousness transfers completely to your dimension, or it anchors here, creating a stable bridge between worlds. Thalek finished. Neither spoke the third possibility. Catastrophic failure that would destroy both her consciousness and any hope for Meridian. On their final night before activation, with the device humming through its initialization sequence, they lay together on the simple cot they'd been sharing. The physical and emotional connection between them had deepened with each passing day, memories from their other life together, blending with new experiences in this dimension. The Lex traced the curve of her face in the dim light. If this fails, it won't, Nora interrupted, unwilling to contemplate the alternative. If it does, he continued gently, know that finding you again was worth crossing dimensions. Their bodies came together with the urgency of those facing an uncertain future. Hands mapping territories both new and remembered. Whispered words in two languages merging into a shared vocabulary of desire. Each touch strengthened the quantum bond between them. Consciousness and physical sensation intertwining until it became impossible to determine where one dimension ended and another began. Afterward, holding each other in the quiet darkness, Nora admitted her fear. Part of me feels like I'm dying tomorrow. The person I've been for 35 years might cease to exist, or become more. Thalek suggested. The sum of two lives across dimensions.
Oh.
Morning arrived too quickly. As Nora took her position on the platform, surrounded by the humming technology, she looked at Thalek one last time. Ready? He asked. She nodded, heart racing. For a scientist, I'm placing an awful lot of faith in quantum metaphysics and interdimensional love. His amber eyes held hers. Some connections transcend science. The machine activated, and the world dissolved into light. Resonance pattern. Nora awakened to the soft sound of waves against a shoreline. Opening her eyes, she found herself lying on a bed of silver-blue moss beneath an unfamiliar sky where twin purple moons hung low on the horizon. Meridian memories cascaded through her. Consciousness, not fragments. Now, but complete parallel lives merging into a coherent whole. She remembered growing up in Boston, her years at Princeton, developing her quantum research. And simultaneously, she remembered her childhood in Meridian's eastern archipelago, studying xenobiology, meeting Thalix during a research expedition. 2 lives, 1 consciousness. It worked. Thalex's voice came from beside her. He helped her sit up, his amber eyes searching hers anxiously. "What do you remember?" "Everything," she whispered. "Both lives." Relief flooded his features. "The dimensional breach is sealing itself. The resonance pattern stabilized when your consciousness fully integrated across realities." Nora looked down at her hands, still human in appearance, but somehow different, as though her cells had reconfigured to exist in this dimension. "I'm not fully human anymore, am I?" "You're something new," he said. "A consciousness that exists in quantum superposition across dimensions." She stood shakily, taking in the alien landscape that felt both wondrous and familiar. In the distance, a city of crystalline spires rose against the twilight sky. Meridian's capital, where she had once lived with him. "Will Earth be safe?" she asked. "The dimensional bridge is closed, but stable. Your research there will continue without you, perhaps one day leading to proper interdimensional travel." His hand found hers. "Do you regret your choice?" Nora considered the question, feeling the memories of both lives settling into new patterns within her mind. She had left behind colleagues, friends, her research, everything that had defined her existence on Earth. Yet standing here on alien soil with Thalix, she felt a completeness she had never known in either life separately. "How could I regret finding something most people never experience in any dimension?" she replied. Their kiss beneath Meridian's moons felt like the beginning of something unprecedented, a relationship that transcended not just worlds but the very fabric of dimensional reality. Later, walking along the shore of the luminous sea, bioluminescent waves lapping at their feet, Thalix explained how they would continue her integration into Meridian society. "Your unique perspective will be invaluable. You understand both worlds in ways no one else can." "Quantum diplomat," she smiled. "Bridging dimensions through consciousness." As night deepened around them, Nora gazed up at unfamiliar constellations with the strange, dual awareness of seeing them for both the first time and the 1000th. Somewhere across dimensions, Earth continued its trajectory through space. The life she'd left behind becoming a parallel path untaken. "Do you think there are other dimensions where we found each other?" she asked. Thalix considered this. "The mathematics suggests infinite possibilities. I like to think that in every reality, every dimension where we both exist, some version of us finds a way to connect." She squeezed his hand. "Some bonds are fundamental to the structure of reality. The resonance pattern between them had become something greater than either could have. Imagine not just a bridge between dimensions, but a template for a new kind of existence. Together, they had rewritten the rules of consciousness and connection, proving that some forces transcend the boundaries between worlds." As Meridian's twin moons set beneath the horizon, Nora and Thalix walked forward into their shared future to lives from different dimensions, resonating as one.